What's up, YouTube, man? It's your homie Big D, man, back in the building, man. The homie Big D back in the building. I am gonna hold them shouts out to the end of everything. But I do appreciate everybody who chimed in on the last video and drop some and subscribe. So I said I'm gonna drop some. Actually supposed to be waiting on my homie. Me and him supposed to be doing like a live together where he gonna pin. You know what I mean? We almost at that 1,000K. You know what I mean? And beyond. So, I appreciate everybody who don't subscribe to the channel. And I said, man, let me go ahead and do some work, man. I'm sitting here. I just dropped my daughter off. I'm in the building. So, let's start this up. I'm back in Alto with this. Back in Alto. It's 1995. 95, 96. Trying to get the years together. So, it was a little dude that came across the yard, man. And I'm going to call him Lil L. You know what I mean? So dude named Lil L, he come across the yard. So when he hit the dormitory, you know what I mean? Fresh face, young boy. Looked like he ain't never did nothing to get in trouble. Probably first time committing a crime. This is what I'm thinking in my mind. And that, he don't seem like nothing like, you know what I mean? Wasn't nothing to him. You know what I mean? Like he was a young guy, man. No facial hair, everything. And here they go. You already know. The predators are looking. They are lurking. So they're talking amongst each other. You know what I mean? And, you hear it throughout the dormitory and stuff like that. So I ain't paid the dude no attention. And I seen like the finessers come over there and start talking to him and time, I'm in the kitchen. I used to work pot room at this time. So everybody used to come and kicking in the pot room. The pot room was where we used to watch like the pot set. So I heard a couple of them sitting over there talking about the guy. Actually, a couple of them wasn't in the dorm with him. So they were asking each other about, man, what's up with him? How he moving and all that. And I'm shaking my head like, and I didn't even really know where the little dude was from. I ain't spoke to him. I ain't said one word to him and everything. I just figured like, man, either he gonna stand up or he gonna fold. And the way he looked, like he might just be one of those that fold. But with that said, you got to look how a person carry themselves. So when the finessers would come talk to him, he wasn't like on no trying to shun them or isolate himself or like, I ain't gonna talk to y'all. He'll sit there and talk to him, but would never ever be in no situation where he was kicking it with him, if that makes sense. Well, a person could pull up on you and ask you a question about where you from and all that. So when those guy was in there talking to him, he was like, yeah, man, he from Sunset. And they were like, oh, man, that's on the South Side. And I was like, I ain't going to talk to the little dude. I don't know him, so it don't matter to me where he from. And this carried on for like a couple of weeks. So I got a big homie, man. I'm going to call him the big homie T, man. I had a homie named T. You know what I mean? Big homie T. And he'll show up later on. Me and big homie T, man. Me and the big homie T, I call him big homie, but he's not my big homie. But I'm saying he's a big dude. He was probably about 6'4", 6'3". No, bro, about 6'5". And at that point in time, probably about 270, 260, 270, straight muscle. You know what I mean? Had a background as a boxing pedigree and everything. And me and dude was like tight. You know what I mean? He didn't carry himself as a bully. He was very humble, honestly. You know what I mean? He was just cool dude. Now, he turned up, but it was never on no bully type at that point in time in our bid. You know what I mean? He was real cool, chill dude. So me and Home used to rock. You know what I mean? We had locked it in. We was kicking it like cool. At this point in time, he wasn't in the dormitory with me. And he had came through and he was hollering through like walking through like walk around the walkway, and he was hollering and somebody had told me, Big T wants you at the you know what I mean, the big homie T wants you at the window. So I go to the window, I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, hey man, I got a little homeboy, man, who just came over, hit y'all dorm, man. I know if folk from the street, man, look out for him. Now, here's the thing is about that. When somebody would tell me something like that, and usually I was like, all right, but it's never going to be on the situation like I'm going to take up whatever issues and problems that he get for himself in there. I'm not going to do that. Now, I will go and let him know that you told me to check in You know what I mean? With him. Also with that, that'd be a lot of time when dudes would do that. Also could be that little buddy is paying for protection. Meaning like, hey, I'm gonna make sure he good as long as he got done throwing these zooms my way. And so I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna tell him to holler at you, and you got see. I don't like getting involved in that type of stuff because see, then it's gonna be the expectation that either I, one, gonna be checking the money, which I'm not gonna do. Two, that I'm gonna take up whatever problem issue that he develops in that dormitory, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not going to even help my listen. We can be real tight, like me and Big T were. I'm not gonna take up any issue that he put in front of us, like in front of himself. I would help him if there's gonna be a situation where somebody gonna jump on me, but that's the same thing if you tell me to look out for somebody, I will help. Make sure nobody jump on you. You know what I mean? I let you get a one-on-one if that's what it comes down to. But I most definitely am not finna take up your problems. So that's what I was like, okay. But I guess he kind of understood like how I was saying, like, all right. He was like, no, seriously, bro. Like, dead ass, like, I know it folks from the street, man. You know what I mean? Look out for my little homeboy, man. I promise you, man. So I said, okay. So that would let me know right there that he really do have his people is really somebody significant to him to the point where he would go out there with home. He would take up those issues. So basically what he was telling me is just to push up on him, holler at the little dude, find out what's going on with him. Now mind you, now I've been hearing his name in everybody's mouth in the dormitory that get on with that type of activity. And I haven't seen him do anything to deter that. So I'm like, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to holler at the dude or make him feel some kind of way or make one of these dudes think I got something going on at home. I don't want to have these conversations with these cats. You know what I'm saying? But on the strength of what he said, I said, my partner, so I'm finna go push up on bro. And I'm glad I did. Because then that's when they find out. You know what I mean? Sometimes looks can be deceiving. When I went and talked to him, I pushed up on him. I said, hey, yo, because I asked my homeboy who was. He told me all that, and third. And when I pushed up on him, I was like, damn, what's up, little L? Like that. I said, my homeboy Big T told me to come holler at you. Like, oh. He said, you Big D, right? I said, yeah. Like, he already knew who I was. Yeah, he had told me you was up here. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to just push up on you like that, bro. You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know, I know how that is. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at him. When he said that, I looked up at him and I made a realization that, hey, man, maybe this dude ain't naive as I initially thought. And you know, when we talking and you know, being scared is one thing. You know, you're gonna be nervous. You're in a new environment. You're gonna be kind of shook. You know, I ain't gonna say shook. You're gonna be kind of cautious about how you move and stuff like that. But when he said that, I looked at him and really looked at him and started talking to him. And I was like, hey, yeah, man, you know, some of them dudes, he said, man, before you even start, he said, man, I ain't stupid, man. I know who them boys are, what they trying to do. Like they said, man, I'm gonna have to make an example of one of the cats in him. He said, but you know what I mean? He said, reason why I've been talking to him and, you know what I mean, trying to throw them out and try to figure out how I could make my moves. He said, man, cause I ain't trying to get jumped on, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna allow them folk to get out on me like that. And I sat down and as we talked, the dude reminded of me of myself in the same mindset that he would really was being trying to be strategic about it. He knew that he couldn't take out everybody, but he gonna have to take out somebody. He gonna have to set an example of how this thing gonna go. So I like, well, shoot, bro, you know, like, man, you don't want to let that thing go too far because, you know, once it get too far gone, you know, he said, man, I probably don't let it went too far. He said, but I'm thinking, he said, but the little white boy, he keep pulling up on me like he's slick. I said, what? And he pointed to him. Now, here's the thing about the little white boy that I'm talking about. And I ain't gonna call him little, but he wasn't a big white boy. He probably about 6'1", 6'2", average size. He was in the old Annex. He's never been a boy. You know what I mean? If anybody ever tried him, he was down before me. I know who he was. I ain't gonna call him a hard body white boy. When I say hard body white boy, I mean them white boys ain't going for Nathaniel. I'm talking about, hey man, you gonna have to get down with it. But with that said, he will, he'll stand in the paint with you. And he will, know what I mean? He don't lost more than he done got done won. But you best believe he don't got in there and tried to get out. And you gotta watch it. Cause he'll squirrel something. And so, but I haven't never known him to be on that type of time as far as like with a black person. Now, I know he messed with boys, you know what I mean? Because the little white dude come in, he'll befriend them, get up on them and run up in them. He will do that. But I had never seen him to be overly aggressive. It's more of a finesse thing with him. You know what I mean? It's better to give it to me than give it to them. I'm gonna treat you right type of shit. I'm telling you how people would think. So I said, oh, he been trying to holler? Yeah, because honestly, I have not paid this dude any attention or who he was talking to, just outside of the known ones that I know get on with that. They're the only ones I ever paid attention to. But with that said, I really wasn't paying that any attention because it wasn't none of my business to pay attention. At this point right now, I had became so goddamn numb and desensitized to what was going on and figuring like, man, survive. Don't worry about what everybody else got going. Survive till you figure out how you can got going, try to navigate around all this foolishness and BS that going on around him. So when he said that, I said, well, I'm gonna tell you, homeboy. I said, on the strength of Big T, man, and I honestly like it, bro. Cause when talking to him that moment, that one time, I kind of started liking the dude, and after that, we talked almost every day. Like, seriously, we'll sit down and kick it. It's like talking to you. I don't mean with somebody that you've been knowing. That's how much we had in common as far as about how we seen doing time and life in general. But he was like, bro, I ain't stupid, man. He said, I've been a juvenile, and in out trouble all my life. He said, these folks don't know nothing about me. He said, but they gonna find out though. He said, I'm gonna handle that home. But he said, man, but I appreciate you pulling up on me, man, and talking to me. You know what I mean? He said, I was gonna pull up on you, but like I said, you know how that is, man. I don't want to come and say, hey, man, my homeboy told me to come holler at you, because then it'll make me look like I'm running for safety. But said, I ain't on that. You know what I mean? I'm good. I said, all right. Now, this, like I said, when he said that about the white boy, I started recognizing that, hey, man, the white dude was pushing up on him a lot and talking to him and stuff like that. And then I started hearing what he was saying to other people. Talking about, that's my baby and stuff like that. But he was never saying it to bro, because I know bro was took off on him, because I could tell about how he was. But what bro wanted to do, he wanted to make an example. And this is something that I would notice that he had started doing for like a week straight. He would come to me like, hey, boom, 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 boom. Hey, you got some batteries? I said, I got some radio battery. What, you need some radio battery? He said, you got some dead ones? I said, yeah, I got some dead batteries, but man, what you want with some dead batteries? Give them to me. So his thing is about radio batteries. When your tape player don't play anymore, you just use the batteries just for the radio, and you'll get all mixed up. So you'll do this all day trying to find some radio batteries, some battery that will actually work in your radio. And he was asking me that I had some. And on regardless if you can go to the store or not, you would keep those dead batteries. And I had like 20 of them. And I gave him like 4 or 5 packs of them. It was like packs of 4. He's like, you got some more? He said, I need like 5, 6 of them. I said, man, what do you need? He said, man, I got radio down there, man. I just need to make sure, man, I'm trying to ride out all night. He got the white boy radio. He said, I got the white boy radio. I'm sorry, man. Little dude wasn't getting any money in. He was on store restriction or something was going on with that. And I was like, I said, man, I thought you said, man, listen, just let me get the radio battery. So I came with like 4 more packs. He took out, boom. And then he was just asking everybody for radio battery. So, boom, let's turn around the store day. And he hit on the door. The day before store day, the white boy out there filling out your store list and stuff like that. And I see Buddy pull up on and say, hey, man, you got some radio battery? He asked the white boy, you got some radio battery? The white boy said, hey, man, I get you a pack of batteries off the store. He said, yeah, give me a pack of batteries off the store, too. He said, but I need some for the night. The white boy go in there and pull out about 4 radio batteries and stuff like that. And he take off to his room and shut the door. Boom. Next day, store day come around. Boom. And the white boy come back and he hit on the door. And I see my homeboy hit on the door like, doom, 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 doom. And the white boy walk up to the door and say, what's up? You got them batteries? I said, yeah. So, all right, I'm going to bring them back to you. So I guess the day is the day that the white boy figuring that, no, I take that back. It wasn't the day. My homeboy making it seem like it was the day that he's ready to break. He like, shoot, man, you going to come in here and kick it with me? The white boy was actually working there on for the officer that day. He didn't have to go to the kitchen, but he was working for the officer. What the officer would do that, they would like pick random people like they feel like it would work. And he would work. He like, yeah. He said, get the officer to open the door for me. And like, okay. I'm in my room. I hear them back and forth saying this. And so I'm standing in the doorway. I'm just standing in my room, like the door. I can look down, straight down to see what's going on. So I see the white boy doing like they hit to the officer. The officer popped the door. And when he popped the door, the white boy opened the door. He was smiling. He like to him. Man, my little L, no cane crowd buddy head with a battery sock. Pow, pow, pow. Tell you, he said, you drunk? He said, you drunk? How drunk he is now? Drunk meaning that I'm in love with a person. And God darn, and he had been telling people that he was in love with dude. Like he was drunk over it. Little L, you know what I mean? The little white boy was saying he was drunk over it. He hitting him, talking about, you drunk now? Pow! Pow! How drunk you is? And you feel woozy now, don't you? I'm talking about he is beating this man. The white boy took out running. Why would you do this? He got him by his shirt, holding him. Pow! Pow! But little L is laughing. He is killing it like he's dying. You still drunk? Pow! Pow! I'm talking about, I don't even know how this sock held this battery is that long, man. I'm talking about, boy, he is beating Buddy. It's like knots are popping, whelps and knots are popping up on Buddy's head and everywhere. He bleeding and everything. He started hitting him. He can't get away from him. The police called the code. The police stood there for a second looking like, then he went to call the code, the 1010 come down now. And when they come down there to get my homeboy, and they slam him on the ground, they got him cuffed up. And he talking about, he said, anybody else in here telling they drunk? They let me know. When I come back, I give you a cup full too, nigga. He went out the dorm. He laid the law that day, man. He laid the law that day up, man. So everybody in that dormitory wasn't on that. You know what I mean? When he came out the hole, because this story don't stop right there. When he came out the hole, he actually went to like the F building or something like that, and dude tried him up there. Same exact thing. Yeah, he liked him. He said, but he filled him up, hit him with a cup. Covered that guy down, showing up. After he came out of the hole now, this dude, he did that to an F building. Now, he was a reputable from Macon, you know what I mean? And it was a lot of dudes, but the Macon dudes talking about they wanted to get in it. And this is when I showed the amount of intelligence this young dude had, because he wasn't on crash out by far. He bad, good stand, a good run be the bad stand in the day, man. He was like, man, because at that time they were running like walk rate. So this had to be like 96, because they were running walk rate. And they were telling him that he had to go walk rate. He said, man, y'all might well call him. He said, man, I ain't gonna go out there with all them dudes, man. And then he was actually in the dorm with me and Big T at the time. When I was like, man, we'll go out there with you. He like, man, I ain't going out there. He said, even if we go out there and you know all them dudes want to line a ride with y'all, they trying to get me. I'm not gonna set y'all up for that. And I ain't gonna set myself. He said, I don't mind going to the hole. I like the hole. Yeah, this is wild. Wow, but we ended up having the guy have a conversation with a couple of the big dogs out there and told him, like, man, you know, I don't have to handle it business. Y'all can't respect that. You know what I'm saying? What can we tell you? And they were like, all right, cool. And they let it go. As time went on, man, he carried this whole scenario for a minute. And he had started getting yeast out the kitchen, like pure yeast, and eating it. Fast forward to about 98. I'm in PMC at this time in Dawn 18. It was some dudes. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. Like, you know what I mean? Not even passing. But I had been hearing about him, like man, yeah, dude got a lot of dudes on there scared of him. No, you know what I mean? He wasn't no longer little L. It was dude was like that. He said, hey man, some big old dude trying to holler at you back here, man, at the door. And I went back there and I said, oh, trying to holler at me over there. Man, I go to the door, it's him. He done went from 175. Cause when I first met him, he probably like 175 to about 230, 225, 230. All this. Like this trap, all that. I said, man, God, why would you been doing? Eating weights? I'm doing that yeast, homeboy, that goddamn yeast and working out. He said, nah, homeboy, you know old boy hitting head with the goddamn lock down here. I said, which one? And he told me Buddy for making. Well, me and Buddy for making actually had a rapport. Now, Buddy for making did not try him on no homicide. He stole something from him. That's why he did that. And I said, I don't know, man. You might have to give him a felon. I said, cause Shawty, he ain't no sucker. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I ain't no sucker for real. And but I call him back up. They said, man, I'm just gonna take off on him. I ain't gonna go through all that. I just hit him in and cause he wasn't gonna do no squabbling. He said that. He said, I'm through with the squabbling thing. I ain't gonna do all that fight. You know what I mean? They boy trying me, man. And I feel him on that. I got to feel him on that. But yeah, I was able to talk to Buddy, man. Matter of fact, no, I told him to stay put, get out the dump. I said, stay put. I'm gonna look out for you. And I hollered at this dude named Nasty. The guy him over there in the dormitory with me. And we worked that out for probably about 6 months. Till he just said, I had enough and crashed out on the police officer. I mean, he just cussed him out and ended up back in BU. Because he felt like it was too dangerous to be down there. PMC, because PMC is an open dormitory, man. But yeah, man, I had to just tell y'all that quick story, man, about my little homie L, man. We really ended up turning to Big L, man. He really turned into a whole monster, man. There's a lot of dudes had to end up respecting his goddamn gangster, man, because he with all the smoke, he with all the drama. But he was a good person, though, man. Literally, a good dude that really, if nobody never messed with him, he never would have went to that level. But he had no choice. Y'all press me, I'm going to press back. So, yeah, man, I just told y'all that quick story, man. Now I'm going to give these shots out, man, because I got to give them out. You know what I'm saying? Let me go on here and get in here. So I can get into these comments. Hey, man, Skinny G Fly, man, I appreciate the love, homie. Man, what is going on? Why is it taking me all doing this to me right now? Hey, man, Brother Lee, man, I appreciate the love, man. BR4 TV, man. Hey, bro. That's love right there, man. You always pull through on your boy, man. Pull through for your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? There is, man, Connecticut in the building, man. I appreciate the love, homeboy. You know what I mean? Hey, that's right. Subscribe. My partner, Michael Russell, he just sat there and told me, man. Mike just told me, man, to tell y'all, man, ain't gonna call you now Japanese to subscribe, man. Subscribe, man. Subscribe to the page, man. You know what I mean? AG, man. That's right, bro. You know what I mean? AG 8323, man. I appreciate that love, man. Hey, Wendell, man, I appreciate it, homie. I'm going to have to get that Wendell, too, man. You know what I mean? He put me on some of that Leesburg game, man. That was my partner, man. He was down in Alto, too, so respect to him, man. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody, man. I want to make sure I get everybody, man. Also, man, I appreciate all the goddamn Merry Christmas comments that I got too, man. I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? I tried to respond to everybody. If I didn't get you, man, forgive me, man. Hey, man, Nashville, Tennessee, man, in the building, man. That Mario Cox, man. Why lie we grown, man. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I might have to start back doing the introduction in the beginning, but at the end, I'm always got to give the shouts out, man. I promise you, man. Hey, man, much love, man. Much love to you, bro. AG8323, man. One love, homie. Spin right. SD 109 888. I don't know how it was. Somebody I don't sound like I'm from Georgia. I born and bred here, man. I don't. Where I sound like I'm from? I swear my country, man. I'm country hell. I know I am, man. Brother Lee, man. I appreciate you, man. Hey, yeah, Leesburg, Lee State Prison, same thing, man. I just call it Leesburg State Prison. I never called it Lee because I felt like it's Leesburg because that's where I was. So, Slade Dro Gun Z, man, what's up, man? Darryism, man, I appreciate that love, man. Laquise, man, Doss 6854, man, I appreciate the love, man. Hey, until the next time, man. You know what I mean? The homie Big D, man. The homie Big D, man. The channel is the same as the handle, man. Hey, subscribe, man. Like, comment, and share. Thank y'all, man. One love.